This is Rick Drury. I'm with Classic Auto Insurance here at Detroit Autorama 2020. And I've got with me Paul and a 1930 Marquette. Now, a lot of people don't know what a 1930 Marquette is. Tell me a little bit about the car, how you got it, and a little bit of history behind the car.
Okay. I was at a car show in Davison, Michigan with my Bugatti replica, and across from me was a Model T for sale. And I kept looking, I said, I know that car. So I went over, I spoke to the couple, and I had sold them the car 35 years ago.
Oh, no way.
So then he says, well, do you want to buy it back? And I said, no. And he says, well, I have a Marquette. I said, what's a Marquette? I never heard of one, and I'm up on cars. And so I went over his house and ended up buying the other car from him.
That was basically, they were tied with Buick, right?
It's a companion car with Buick. It's the lesser cost vehicle. And when the Depression hit, that was the end of the car line. They only made it 1 year. So Buick, after all their engineering costs, lost a lot of money because it doesn't share any parts with the Buick. It has its own engine, transmission. Every body part belongs to Marquette. And being they only made them 1 year, hard to find. You can't find parts.
I was going to say, when you got the car, was it in this condition, or did you...
It was just like that.
Because I could not imagine restoring a car if you didn't have everything. That one especially.
Yeah, and it's underneath all the sheet metal, it's all wood construction. And the gentleman, Lewis, that did the restoration, did it in his garage, and he worked for Buick. And he did a fantastic job. Every piece of wood in the car has been replaced. The whole car's been totally restored.
It's absolutely gorgeous. It looks dead on what it should be. Now, tell me a little bit about the engine.
It's a flathead 6, where Buick was running an overhead valve engine at the time. So you can even see on the block it says Marquette. It's its own engine. And it's got a couple options, like the bumpers are an option. And it has the artillery wooden wheels. And the option was the wire wheels at that time.
Okay. Now the other thing too, on the interior, the little fan.
Oh yeah.
You got to tell me about that.
Yep, that's a vacuum operated fan, and it works. And the previous owner, somebody had given it to him.
Now is that like a defrost, or is that like the air conditioning?
Both.
Both.
And if you notice, the windshield is flat,
Right.
and that actually cranks up. So there's an air gap. Most of the cars back then, they would kick them out.
Right.
But this one go up.
It rolls up.
Yes.
Oh, how neat.
And all the other windows, except for the back window, crank down. And if you notice the flower vases, most people don't know what they're for. Everybody thinks, oh, it's pretty. No, people back then didn't bathe too often. And it's very hot, 5 people in a car like that in the summer, so they put fresh cut flowers for the odor.
I bet you trivia, most people would never get that.
Never know. Everyone thinks it's just to look nice. But no, it's so you can sit next to your friend.
That is so cool. So how long have you had it now?
A couple years. We had it a couple years.
You said you have many other cars. How's this one rank as one of your favorites?
It's one of my favorite. It's all original. I've got a couple muscle cars, and I've had fire trucks. I have an antique wrecker. I even own a tugboat.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, if you do a close up on my arm, that's my tugboat right there. So, built in 1936,
Okay,
and still have it. And it's 61 feet long, weighs about 80 tons.
Wow.
So, that's my biggest toy. You know.
Hey, whatever floats your boat. I knew it.
That's it.
I knew it was coming.
Okay.
That's cool. But no, this car, I mean, it caught me, and I had to look at it twice and then realize it was the Marquette. And I've heard of it, but I've never seen one in person. So it's great that you brought it out. And you're in the stock category, I'm assuming?
Stored.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, it's an awesome car. Paul, thanks for bringing it out.
Thank you. Vote off and vote twice.
There you go.
Oh,
We'll try
okay.
to do it.
All right.
Thanks.
Classic Auto. Agreed value, mileage rollover, and tiered mileage plans. Classic Auto, insuring your vehicle, insuring your passion. Call or click Classic Auto today.